Abby, do I need to close the door and turn the sign around that says recording?
Welcome back to the Ts9 podcast here. I have got a good group of boys here tonight. We're going to have a good conversation about sports, football, and all kinds of other fun shit. So, everybody have a good Easter?
We did a little fireball Easter egg hunt, too. That was pretty fun.
That was fun. Y'all ever done that for adults instead of hiding Easter eggs?
Excuse me.
Just hide little mini bottles of liquor? More people would be more inclined to host Easter. If everybody didn't find shit, there still mini bottles of liquor out in my yard. I'm going to go clean the yard.
I think there's still like 8 to 10 left.
Just randomly going to be...
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Yeah. I'm going to clean up the yard. It's like, ooh, fireball. Ooh, fireball.
Well, I only cared about the golden egg that had the $20 in it. You always had the one that had money in it. So, I didn't care about the candy. I was going to get free candy anyways. I wanted the money.
I kind of targeted the Skittles and the Starbursts, I'm not going to lie. I could see through the eggs. I knew which ones to go after. Palmer, did you come in town?
Yeah, I went to the tournament on Saturday. Went to the women's amateur thing out there on Saturday, and we did Easter on Sunday. So,
yeah,
good weekend there.
I saw your picture on Amen Corner, wasn't it?
Which one? Yeah. I mean, I post the pictures, the humble brag of that I got to play it, and I have a few pictures of me when I played it. And so it's always nice when Masters Week comes. It's weird to go out there and see, after you've played the course and, go see them and, see them hit shots. And, I went down there and hit Bubba's shot that he hit from right of number 10 in the playoff, the big, hook thing.
Yeah, the big hook out of the trees.
I actually saw Bubba on Saturday, and there's so little people out there that I literally was like, yo, what's up, Mr. Watson? And he walked over, and I told him that I hit his shot. And he was like, that's pretty cool, man. I talked to him about it for a minute, so that was cool.
Heck yeah. I like it when professional athletes will take a minute out of your time just to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, yeah, and he was just out there chilling. He had nice, black slacks on. He was wearing his green jacket with a nice polo shirt. And he had, some nice Jordans on. And I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever. He's out at Augusta National rocking some, fresh J's. It was awesome.
Well, I mean, he's not playing, right?
He wasn't that day,
Right.
He was there to support the girls and stuff, but he's playing this week. Hey, something super random. I know I've told you before that I go to all these antique stores, and I know you told me you went to the estate sales and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love estate
sales.
But
I go to all these different bookstores and all the different Goodwills. Books are $1 and stuff. Well, I found this old kind of, it's something down here in St. Augustine. It's called Upscale Resale or something. It's basically a higher end Goodwill.
Yeah. And
I found a book that is a family picture album called the John F. Kennedy. And so it's the Kennedys family pictures and just them hanging out and playing with the kids and all that kind of whatever. And it's from the early 60s. And I bought it because inside the pages there's a folded up newspaper from November 26th, 1963. So 3 or 4, it's literally the newspaper from the day of the funeral or the day after the funeral. And so November 26th, 1963 from the Daytona Beach Morning Journal. Yeah. So I have the book, and it was $1, so why not buy it?
They were actually doing some renovating on our office. The old, what is it, Quad Graphic or Graphic, whatever it used to be. The printing company.
Yeah, Quad Graphic.
Yeah, they found a newspaper from the day after, say, September 11th.
Ooh.
So that was pretty neat.
That's pretty cool.
So they found.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they found it in a wall.
Oh, wow.
Well, you want to know what the funny part is? I want to say on the back of the newspaper the day after the Braves won the World Series in '95, the news story on the back of that sheet of paper or the back of that newspaper is Pee Wee Herman's trial from when he got caught at the adult movie theater in Florida.
Hey man, news is news, no matter what day.
Well, I just thought it was funny because I have that one laminated and whatnot. And one day I looked at the back, I was like, wonder what's on here. I was looking at the weather, and then the top right, there's Paul Rubin. Yes, I forgot about that.
But I found a bunch of stuff Second and Charles. I think it was in Augusta. I found it's the Warren Commission report, which is the Senate or House and whatever committee, their findings on the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
And it's like the New York Times first edition version. It was like $5 at Second and Charles. And so like I've started now, like anytime I see one of the bigger reports that's published into a book that's, you know, like somewhat cheaper, I'm not going to pay a ton of money for it. But so I have like the 9/11 Commission report. I have the my favorite one is, I don't know how many of y'all have ever really looked through the Starr report, which is on the Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton thing.
She's a collector.
Do what?
I said she's a collector.
Yeah. One of the save that blue dress. One of the big things that everybody really was upset at the Republicans and Ken Starr for doing. And I watched a documentary on this whole thing, and Ken Starr swears up and down that he didn't know, like he handed his report into the DOJ because he was a special prosecutor. And when he handed it in, he thought that they were going to redact it and go through it and read it and all that. They just posted it online the next day, and they had basically just, I mean, I've read it, not all the way through, obviously. I've read they put like 20 instances where Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky had contact, and it literally just explicitly says what they did. I mean, in explicit detail. And that went out to the public, and I mean, it reads almost like a porno novel. I mean, it's ridiculous, and I mean, it's pretty raunchy stuff. It's pretty funny.
Well, no, I brought this up at Easter. What happened to Elion? Come on, we remember Elion, don't we? Little Cuban kid that held on to the raft for like 20 days. And then got here, and Bill Clinton deported him in like less than a month. Like,
oh my God, I've never heard of that.
You don't remember Elion Gonzalez?
No.
What? Y'all might be too young to remember Elion, dude. Like, seriously, if y'all have a computer or somewhere to do it right now, look up Elion Gonzalez.
That's so weird for you to say that. I just turned 30. It's weird for you to call me young.
Ronnie, do you remember Elion? Ronnie. No.
I remember.
Okay, Dave remembers him.
Elion
Gonzalez. Like his parents like put him on a raft or something, and the raft they had him on was like basically a tractor tire with him holding a stick with a sail on it.
Yeah.
And he held on to this thing for like 20 days or something from Cuba, and everybody was wanting him to stay and this and that, and I want to say Clinton was president, and he deported him. Yeah, whatever it was. Like I said, I don't know. It was just funny. Me and my uncle talked about that
That's funny.
at Easter.
I'll have to look that up.
Because I said something to him, and Jody looked at me. He was like, whatever did happen to that little fucker? I was like, I'm pretty sure he got deported. And then
to be honest, I hope he's living in Miami somewhere.
Yeah, he probably came back if I had to guess.
Honestly, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, if you're willing to do that once and they ship you back, like you're probably willing to. I know it's a shitty journey, but probably willing to do it again.
Well, I mean, especially the confidence that you survived it at like 9.
Yeah.
Like I solo doloed it at 9. It's like, yeah, bro, I can do this again. Definitely.
And you know what supplies
once I become a teenager.
All right, I'm 15 now. I got all my water. I got everything I need with me.
Right. Let's see. Elion Gonzalez is a Cuban citizen who became embroiled in a heated international custody and immigration controversy in 2000. So I guess
2000.
So that would be Bush, right? No, that'd be into Clinton.
No, Bush was sworn in January 2001.
Right. So this was the end of Clinton.
Yeah.
Involving the governments of Cuba and the United States. His father, Juan Miguel Gonzalez, and his relatives in Cuba and in Miami. And the Cuban community. He's 27 now, so it happened in 2000. So I guess he's still there.
21 years old. He was 6.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Here we go. This is from Elion Gonzalez, the Cuban-American boy who shipwrecked at age 5 sparked an international custody battle between his father and their Florida relatives.
Sheesh. So it was more of like a custody battle than it was
right
shipping him Like, yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. It sounds interesting.
Like his family in Miami wanted him to stay here, but they didn't have legal custody of him, and his father wanted him back in Cuba.
And I would be pretty interested to find out how he got on that raft to begin with. If he's 5 years old and his dad didn't put him on it, like,
right? That's I guess that's a story for. I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
Like, did that 5-year-old, like, maybe, I don't know, the whole family shit situated, if the mom did it or something, but, like, why would the dad be like, no, come back down to this communist country? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know, he might be like Goonies, bro. Just, adventurous as shit. Just
you're gonna yell at me, and maybe a lot of people will, but I still have never seen the Goonies.
What? Ooh. Never seen the Truffle Shuffle?
That's one of the, like, I love movies, and there's a few blind spots in there that I've never seen them. And that and The Godfather is the only other one that comes to mind. I think that's about it.
The Godfather's all right. I mean, people will get mad at me for saying that. It's a good movie, but it's not like something I go and on a rainy day I pull out my copies of The Godfather and just sit down for a 12-hour murder fest.
That's how people talk about it, and they and so, like, I feel like maybe it's a little bit of that been oversold my whole life, and, like, I don't know, can it possibly live up to the hype? Because I hear it all the time. It's the best movie ever.
Or Scarface is pretty not good to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It's all personal. I mean, hell, I bought a comic book at an estate sale the other day purely because of the background art was for Biodome coming to theaters January 12th. I didn't give a shit about the comic. It's the fact that it's Biodome. See, and the funny part is it's one of my faves. Love that movie. It is freaking hilarious, man. I mean, just idiots.
Well, it's up there with, like, a lot of people don't even remember Airheads.
Adam
Sandler
loved it.
Brendan Fraser, and like, stupid movie, but God, is it so funny? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just, I know that's how they're not cult classics, because that's still like, what is it? Little Shop of Horrors or what? Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not like culty like that, but it's weird. It's weird. Oh, Chad's at the checkout.
Yep.
There you go. Ooh. So what are you purchasing today from Lowe's?
No, I'm at Home Depot now, and it's a water hose.
Oh, Home Depot water hose. Did you go with the 50-footer or the 100-footer?
I just did the 50.
The 50-footer. There you go.
Right, that big.
What does the cashier think of your purchase?
I'm not sure.
Do you have a PO number for that, Chad?
In a second. Using gift cards.
There you go. It is amazing how Discord works, how you can actually go, be at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, or running your errands and still be on the podcast, because that is cool.
It's just like talking on the phone. Like, I did that. I was like playing golf, and you just put your headphones in and just go about your business.
So that's pretty cool. See, I have to sit here on my computer, with my mic and everything, because I got the recording software going. But
did you guys watch Lex and Terry?
No, they still around?
I mean, listen to Lex and Terry back in the day.
Hell yeah, I listen to Lex and Terry. Drunk Bitch Friday.
Well, like,
I was more of a Kid Craddock guy.
When they would send the guys out and do like pranks, I forget his name. But yeah, they would send like the young guy who didn't really care. They'd send him out. That's what it makes me think of. Because he'd be calling into the station.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember that guy. Whatever happened to Lex and Terry?
You can still find their podcasts. They still do podcasts. I know last year that was definitely one of the things I would just have on the background playing.
Yeah, I feel like the drive time radio thing is kind of out the window now with podcasts. You can like choose what you want to listen to whenever, Because I used to love, like I said, like Kid Craddock, and then what's the one I used to really not like him all that much, but he was on the other Billy Bush or
Billy Bones.
That's it. Billy. Is that it?
I think it's Billy Bones.
Whatever it is, yeah. Billy Bush is the Hollywood. He was with Trump when he said the unfortunate thing. Yeah, Billy Bones is
Yeah, I want to say that's his name, right?
Yeah, and I just never really was that big a fan of that shit. Like the guy on their name was Lunchbox.
No, it's the Bobby Bones Show.
The Bobby Bones Show. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep, the Bobby Bones Show. Yep.
Morning radio. And Kid Craddock is still going. Like Kid Craddock, the man, he died, of like a sudden heart attack 15 years ago almost. And the Kid Craddock show's still going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't they still do the Rockin' New Year's Eve with Casey Kasem or whatnot? And I'm pretty sure Casey Kasem's been dead a while.
Did they replace him by now? I feel like they replaced Casey Kasem doesn't even do his the countdown show on Sundays anymore. Like Ryan Seacrest has done that for like a decade.
Right, I think Casey Kasem's dead, dude.
I think he is. I don't want to wish
John Boyd.
Yeah, I'm not wishing that he is, but no, he's still alive. He's 82.
Well, he's chilling.
No,
man.
he died.
He's living his life.
He died in 2014.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he died in 2014 at the age of 82. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was gone.
82 years, man. We should all be so lucky.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on, he did Shaggy and America's Top 40 and all kinds of other crap forever, man.
And he was one of those. He had one of those voices that you could just you knew who it was the second you heard him.
Oh yeah, immediately. I mean, immediately you knew who it was. Immediately. Yes.
I had some interesting stuff happen yesterday.
Do you mind elaborating on it for content?
Sure. So I am in treatment in Atlanta at white collar jail, and my roommate is slippery. Let's say that. And Friday he managed to sprint away from me in the matter of not laying eyes on him for 15 seconds. And somehow he got alcohol. So he was drunk yesterday, and now I have to roommate hop.
Kind of like college all over again, huh, bruv?
Now you got to be responsible for both of y'all.
Well, no, he's getting sent to higher up white collar jail.
Yeah, he's getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I just know you really don't have good experience with rando roommates, bro.
Cecil, fucking all the mom's people.
Yeah, or I was thinking more about your roommate at Georgia Southern. Remember that kid? Troll Boy that would just listen to Death Slayer all day and come out of his room to get Hot Pockets? That shit was nuts.
And collect Taco Bell packets.
Yeah. Palmer, I'm not shitting you. This kid...
So this is the roommate that you write into a sitcom that everybody would be like, that guy doesn't exist.
Right. He wore all black and I don't know. We just always heard shit coming from his room, and Ronnie kept telling me he had a roommate, and I never believed him. I just thought it was a room that just screamed at you the whole time.
Yeah. I tried to be friendly to the guy too when I get to see him.
Yeah.
But that never even got close to happening.
Right. I mean, we weren't mean to the kid or anything like that. We didn't. It's just you never, I don't know. He just was really not social.
I'm just happy he bathed.
Different folks, different strokes.
Mm-hmm. They say all kinds to fill the freeway. But how's it going up there? Everything going good?
Yeah, so far so good. It's pretty, it's been a while, and I've been trying to do it on my own, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But, people, it's for professionals, so there's, anesthesiologists, CDC, high-up people who, talk to Fauci on the phone type shit.
I got you.
Tell him to fuck himself.
What's that?
Tell him to fuck himself.
Fauci?
Fauci.
No, he's just the doctor doing his job. But if Matt Gates showed up, I'll probably punch him in the face. I hate that he pops up in the news. I don't want to see his face. It's kind of like I'm so happy that Hillary didn't win. You know, maybe I bleed blue, but I definitely do it for her.
I feel you.
Can you imagine hearing her voice every day?
Yeah, it'd be horrible.
I bought stocks in Raytheon with my mom, and I was like, Mom, I hope you don't ethically disagree with this, but we're about to make money because they're going to bomb the shit out of people. And then I was right.
Yep.
They didn't even wait like a month. They just started bombing Syria. I was like, hey, Mom, ethically, you know, we bought stocks in firearms and weapons, but that's okay.
Yep. Oh, dude, there ain't nothing wrong with making money. That's the way I look at it. It's a publicly traded company. You can buy
It was
stock
going to
in it
happen
all
whether you
want.
bought that stock either way.
Right, it didn't matter. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
As far as investing goes, I don't really, as long as it's not like blood diamond type shit, I don't really have a problem with you invest in. I mean, they're publicly traded companies. You can put your money to make your money. It's your life. I mean, invest your money how you need to.
It's just funny. Like, Mom lets me buy her stocks, so she had like Raytheon and Tesla for a while. I think my mom owns Tesla and Raytheon. Like, she doesn't have a clue what those are.
Right. But I mean, they're solid little stocks.
I got my dad to buy into right there in the beginning of all this. I was telling him that it was right when Penn National had bought into Barstool. And I was just like, dude, like this whole coronavirus thing, like it stopped them from they're about to open up restaurants and they're about to do a whole sports betting app. And, you know, the Barstool is going to be your bookie and all that. I said, I'm telling you, that stock's going to go up. And at the beginning of coronavirus, it was like $20-something and it plummeted down to like $3 or $4. And I told my dad, I was like, dude, it's going to go up from there. Like, I don't know how much. And he ended up buying in at like $13. And it's at like 100 and what? 20 or 30 now or something.
Hell yeah.
Crazy. But he got out at like 77. I mean, he made like 5 times his money, but it's still going up. Well, it's not still going, but it went up even after that. It was crazy.
That's great. That's a good call.
In like 6 months, it went up to like 100, like quintuple the value. I mean, it's nuts.
Y'all keep going.
That's
Nuts.
great. But yeah, no, as far as this week, we'll just have new alcoholics and junkies moving in, just normal. It's real boring, but it's also apparently exciting.
I was gonna say, do things kind of get shaken up when they bring new people in, or?
Yeah, there's one guy who's new, who's DTing, and my guy was like a repeat new guy, and then he's so slippery, like he disappeared in front of like 25 people. Like that's how good he is.
Wow.
But he's, you know, CDC upper guy. He's smarter than definitely me. But, you know, addiction makes you do some crazy things. I mean, hell, think about what a meth junkie does to get money, like anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I promise I'm telling you to tell that guy to go F himself. It was more Dr. Fauci. That guy's a good doctor guy, like you're saying. Trying to get himself better, you know.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, Fauci's also kind of had it. Trump was like, I'm going to fire you. Fauci's like, so fucking what? I'm still in charge.
I mean, he's true. I mean, I just think he knows more about this whole thing than what he's letting on. I really do.
I think he's letting on that he knows more than he does. That's the kind of like, you know, we've been kind of led to believe that medicine is a 100% exact science, that as long as you do the math right, you'll get the right answer. And there's still a lot of guesswork, especially with a novel virus that we didn't know anything about.
Yeah,
So
it's absolutely that. There's not always answers.
Yeah, and and it's not comfortable to hear that from a top doctor person, and they weren't really willing to say, I don't know. So they gave a bunch of declarative answers that a bunch of them didn't turn out to be true, when we would have rather just heard, or at least me personally, man, we're not quite sure, but here's what we think is the best. Make good decisions for yourself. That was kind of what I wanted to hear.
Well, I was just interested. I was just kind of interested in the fact that how when it came out, it was already so. I don't know. It punched all the holes for pandemic. I mean, it's highly contagious. We don't have any treatment for it. It's fatal to an extent on certain people with certain things on certain days with certain weather. Like, I get all that, but you can't deny the fact that it is lethal. to certain people. And
I mean, but that's
but
my
it
whole thing. Though,
came
is like
but
everything's like,
it came fully involved. It didn't have
well,
to mutate. It didn't have to evolve. Its base structure from hitting the ground forward was already tuned to kill. And
well, but
most
that's the whole
viruses
thing,
in
though.
history and in now, they have to evolve. Like there's different mutations that go along in it before it becomes that lethal one. I mean, even like the plague and these
Well,
other
that's what
ones.
they're saying though, is that it isn't like, and they called it a conspiracy theory in the beginning. I was waiting on more evidence, and there is actual evidence to support that it didn't come from a bat. Like
It came from a
originally,
lab.
maybe it came from a bat, but they got the virus originally out of a bat, and they were messing with it in a lab. We do the same stuff in America. A bunch of countries do it, where they're trying to see what mutations they can put onto it, how we could build something around fixing it, and all that kind of stuff.
That's what I mean. To me, this came out of a lab. I'm not saying it didn't exist, but that was lab created because it hit the ground running, my friend.
Cool. So we do talk conspiracies on this channel.
Than something naturally
to an extent, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we're talking like I don't care what we talk as long as we don't go in just like bashing like somebody. Like I don't want to bash nobody. I just want to have conversation. You see what I'm saying?
I definitely feel that yes, it was original coronavirus that was tampered with and basically weaponized by Chinese lab, and it got out maybe accidentally, but doesn't change the fact they're working on it.
Right.
They were multiplying the effectiveness. I don't know what they were doing, what the intention of that was, but every person that has gotten a hold of this, the early stage of it over here, and broken it down, they're like, this is not a naturally occurring thing. Like this is just not.
That was kind of my stance. I don't know about any of the other stuff. It just, to me, it didn't make sense how this thing hit the ground running, and everybody's like, oh, it came from a bat.
Well, do you remember the beginning of it? There was a big kind of, and again, it was when it was being called a conspiracy theory, so it kind of got, pushed down. But there was a directive. The Chinese government put out a directive like in early 2019 or mid 2019, something, basically saying like, hey, due to a leak or due to bad handling, here's the new procedures on how to handle coronavirus in our Wuhan lab. And it's like, well, okay. And then like less than a year later, this happens. And so it's kind of like, well, I don't want to say it had to come from a lab, but
right.
A lot of evidence points towards that.
Right.
And I can tell you that from working in lab situations, especially where I was working, where there was a whole lot of immigrants. That not to dock on their professionalism, but it was not right. I mean, hell, in the bathroom, I don't know if you know, but in like Southeast Asia, they usually just have like a hole in the floor, and that's the bathroom.
Right.
So like if I went into the the men's bathroom, I would like skate on the floor because they're just scientists pissing on the ground. It's fucking like there's just a whole cultural disconnect.
Right. And that's that's what people have to understand is it's different. Same, just different.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's a doctor, but he goes in the bathroom and pees on the ground, even though he's in America.
Right. It's same, just different.
And that's one of the things I think a lot of people jump to when they hear that, hey man, this came from a lab. They immediately just kind of jump to, oh, you're saying that somebody dropped a test tube, like did this on. I'm not necessarily like you said earlier. Like,
I'm not saying this is outbreak.
Did it on purpose. I think it accidentally got out. I think one of their lab people got sick, spread it to another person, and it was it was a while before they realized they had a thing on their hands.
Well, that's what I was thinking myself. Like the dude who got contaminated, either he didn't clean properly or something got on him. He went and bought dinner on his way home for everybody, and everybody he walked past in the meat market got it. Everybody he engaged with on his way home got it. Like it wasn't an intentional spread. It wasn't anything like that. In my mind, I think it was just an accident where, it was on the dude and he walked through a busy meat market, and from there, game on. I mean,
now where the intentionality gets a little bit shady for me is they did a bunch of mitigating stuff in China and in Wuhan without telling the rest of the world. And then once it got to the rest of the world, there's no doubt they knew a little bit about it more than the rest of the world, and they just kind of stayed stayed quiet. No, it's not a big deal. Nope, it's not airborne. Nope, it's not. And that kind of is what set the match, I think, for the rest of the world. You notice some of these other Eastern Asian countries like Japan and these other, they don't trust China to the extent that a lot of the other world kind of still has.
I'll give you that.
They didn't listen. They didn't listen to them at all, and they took mitigation efforts immediately. And they had, a little bit less. This thing went through basically everywhere, but they handled it a little bit better than us because, again, I just think they didn't believe China in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I just figured, all that miscommunication at the beginning was us trying to understand what it is and figure out what it is. But I saw something earlier that it said, I can't remember the guy's name, but he said that China definitely didn't, go into detail about what was up. They kind of omitted some stuff.
Well, they still haven't. We still won't. I mean, they still won't let like an independent group or anybody go look at that lab and all that. I mean, it's still pretty sketchy.
Yeah, I understand all that. I mean, that would raise questions to me. That raises more questions than answers them. And I mean, like you said, it's a conspiracy theory because it very well could have just been a natural occurring thing, and we just had this one coming. It's just a virus in the genetic line of, viruses.
That's true.
How many of y'all are getting vaccines? Or have any of y'all gotten them?
I haven't, and I probably won't.
I probably won't either unless the school sticks one in my arm, then I'm like, okay.
Right. I mean, even if they make it mandatory, I think it'll become a problem if you make it mandatory.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then you need to make measles and mumps and polio and smallpox and all those vaccines mandatory for everybody else then.
Yeah. I'm not getting it. It's not a, you like online and stuff, you get easily, and not that I'm, running around yelling about it, but you get easily like accused of like, you think Bill Gates is out to get you or something. It's nothing to do with any of that. It's just, I don't, I'm sitting here as a healthy 30-year-old with no pre-existing conditions of any kind that would make me, I'm in like 99.8 percentile of this thing. Right. And I'm, I don't need it,
Well, that's the thing too, is that I've never been diagnosed with the flu. So
yeah,
I've never had a flu shot. I've never been diagnosed with the flu. I'm not gonna start
One year
it now.
I get the flu, I got the flu shot.
Right.
Never again did I do it.
See, and that's my thing. I've never had a flu shot, and I've never had the flu, so I'll stay that way because everybody I've heard that gets the flu shot gets the flu, and that just, I don't know. It don't make sense to me, man. They're like, yeah, but it's a less dangerous version. But it's still a version.
And then not only that, like they still don't know if you're going to need boosters, but yet, what? After like 6 months, it's supposed to not work or whatever? So I mean,
I've heard that. They were saying that the vaccine
how do they know? Like, there hasn't really been any, like, nobody, the first ever dose ever of this vaccine ever was given less than a year ago. So we don't really know.
Right.
That,
yeah, December.
December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe by next year, we'll see if they flip a switch and half of the country just, like, turns into zombies or something. I don't know.
That's what I tell people. I say, well, hey, somebody's got to shoot you zombies with y'all turd.
Right? I've seen Walking Dead.
We're buying guns for a reason, man.
Yeah, right? I mean,
but no, I mean, and I understand for the older folks, like Taylor's grandparents and stuff got it, which I kind of get,
right.
But at the same time, you don't know what it could do. I mean, think about grandma. She's a 2-time kidney transplant patient. She's beat cancer. You know what I mean? 3 knee replacements. Like, woman's been through hell. I don't know. I personally wouldn't have got it, but that's just me.
Right. I mean, I was a little worried about Mom getting it, because she has no immune system really, and
see, but that's
being an amputee, everything's different.
Being older and all that, I'm worried, if any worried at all, is just that they had no chance whatsoever, and understandably, they had no long-term trials, so they don't know what it does long-term.
Correct.
And that's more of what I'm worried about is long-term effects. So these older people. I mean, I honestly, look, I'm one of the biggest, COVID truthers, not all BS, but it's older people and people with pre-existing conditions that absolutely should be worried about COVID. And so I think them getting the vaccine, I think the risk reward, I think it weighs that COVID's pretty fucking nasty to older people, to people with these pre-existing. It's bad, to us, to generally the general population, younger, the healthier people. It's, not to come off as it's the flu, but
Right.
it can be. And so an older person, especially a person with pre-existing conditions, I absolutely 100% see why you would go get the vaccine. I get it, like 100%.
Even if you didn't have an immune system?
I mean, that's my thing though. That's what COVID attacks is. Like if she got COVID, I'd be very worried.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. But I don't know if she should, if it's like one of those things I'd want to go and roll the dice to see if that little 1 day sickness didn't kick my ass, because
that's true.
Well, and the crazy thing
for a little bit like that, but my thing is that we're pretty, or at least they seem pretty sure that this, COVID's going to be around. It's going to have like a season. Like it's never going to just be gone.
I got you.
And I would just hate for her to have to live, her life for have to live kind of in her own personal COVID bubble or personal kind of lockdown, because she's always in the back of her mind worried about getting this.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal and Bubble Boy.
Yeah. Hey, that movie was. I'm from the Woodlands, Texas, outside of Houston, and that movie was loosely based on a kid that was born and raised in the Woodlands that had a really messed up immune system and all that, and he literally lived in a bubble.
Why are you talking about your brother like that?
Everyone was pissed. Everyone in the Woodlands was pissed about that movie, because like one of the schools down the road was named for him. Like he was from.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I remember. I mean, I used to do the fun run through the woods, and I can't remember the kid's name, but it was a fun run through the woods, and we used to do a 5K, his little 5K every year, and he was Bubble Boy. He was Bubble Boy.
That's pretty good.
That's crazy. Like, and then Jake Gyllenhaal made a movie and ran halfway across the country to get with a girl.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I had no idea that was tied to like Woodlands, Texas, or anything like that.
Well, and that's the thing is, I don't know how much, it might have been in passing. Right. A guy read a story about a kid in a bubble, and his imagination was sparked, and wrote this whole movie. I don't think that it's based on a true story or anything like that. But yeah. There was, in fact, a real life Bubble Boy in the Woodlands, Texas, for sure. Bubble Boy, yeah. But Jake Gyllenhaal gets the girl, so that's a lot happier.
Yeah, I don't even remember how that movie.
I don't remember if he does get the girl.
I was going to say, what, is she living in his bubble with
That's
her?
what I was just thinking. I was like, does he like rip out of it?
Well, talk back about Corona, about how like the mechanism of action. I think it's pretty interesting. So it basically causes an inflammatory response wherever it goes. Basically, once it gets in your digestive system, it kind of hijacks wherever it feels like going. And it also attacks the lungs first off, and your lungs produce a surfactant, which is the reason they can expand and contract. Basically, it's soap in a way. So your lungs can expand and contract and take in all the air you want. And what happens is it causes an inflammation reaction in your lungs, and it starts to congeal. So when that happens, not only are your lungs not expanding and contracting, but the layer in the alveolus where the air goes into the blood and the blood lets CO2 into the sac, it's blocked by this thick congealed surfactant. So you basically are choking on your own fluids.
So
I like saying alveoli. It's a fun word.
You sound way more knowledgeable on what do you do?
I'm a dental student.
Oh, awesome.
But I was just in my roommate was just a guy with CDC for a week. So
y'all been talking about this.
Well,
and then mom's old roommate is a doctor in Kansas and ER doctor.
So do you know what that all has to do with? Like, I remember early on, I mean, I'm sure everybody remembers early on, it was all about the ventilators, was getting everybody, we have to get ventilators. And then after a few months, we found out that basically, like, of the people that, like, basically once you got on a ventilator, there was a 90% chance that you were going to die. Like, you were already down the road. And then they started flipping people over on their stomachs, and that was a lot better. And, like, is that kind of what you're, like, it just,
So a ventilator
The
like
response is in the
forces your
lungs?
lungs to expand and contract, but the problem is that surfactant, that fluid that your lungs create, was gel, and
Oh yeah.
it's such a finite system. Like the tissue has to be really thin for gas to pass back and forth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a thick, basically snot, I mean, it's not mucus. It's like it's inflammation or inflammatory cells are getting in the way, and so you just suffocate.
Sheesh.
Because
And
KY
it's
jealous.
It's because it's new. Your body doesn't really know how to fight it. There's not really antibodies. The white cells don't know what the hell's going on because it's so new.
Right.
You know, like it's like given you've been shooting, you know, a recurve bow your whole life, and then all of a sudden you have a crossbow and you don't know what to do with it. It's kind of like that. The white blood cells don't know what the hell's going on. And
Dude,
so whether it goes to your kidneys, your
I've heard a
lungs,
lot about.
liver, brain, it's just inflammation just kind of goes haywire.
I've heard a lot about T cells. Like T cells are
Yep.
basically built up from like normal flu immunity, like what we normally encounter. Kind of is that
Yes.
the gist? So those T cells are they like basically 50% better? They're a little bit better at dealing with something like that than somebody that doesn't have those.
So the way T cells work is basically it's like a key into a lock. They fit, and then like once. So when you encounter anything new, your T cells are generated kind of randomly. They have certain proteins that are just they just cross and match all the time. So like most of them don't really find anything, which is good. They don't match with anything. But every now and then one will link up and match, and it'll start multiplying itself, and it'll signal to other cells, hey, do this, and they'll start making. Basically, it looks like a Y. Basically, Y proteins look like that. And then another cell will come along, find that protein, and that's a plasma cell, and they'll start shooting out those antibodies or those Y shapes. So whether it's attached to it or not, it'll coat it. And that's kind of what's going on. And it's too much. So these virally infected cells are just getting coated with these antibodies, I'm assuming. And that's causing them to gel. I don't know. That's the fastest way I think I can explain it.
White cell bukkake party in your lungs. Okay.
And it sounds like it's something that we just don't generally deal with, which is not, fun.
I can see that. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't really know the process of how COVID actually does take you down. I just figured it was kind of like a flu. That's kind of interesting.
It's actually it's your immune system is just so ramped up. So
I guess if you didn't have an immune system, it might even be more beneficial to you.
That, or you'll just become a big virus bomb. I'm not sure. If nothing's stopping it, it might just go rampant. But it's kind of like
Evil Dead with an exploder. Like you just wander around, just poof, and you blow up and just like coronavirus everywhere.
It's like an allergy. Like to some people, a peanut causes a increased allergic response, and it's not necessarily bad.
Right.
So it's their immune system.
It's bad to an extent that they don't ever get to try Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They don't get the Lord's chicken.
I mean, you might be able to try it and drink an antihistamine and try and cut it off. You'll feel bad, but
I feel you. All right, go ahead. Finish what you were saying. I just got to put my jokes in. You know me.
Well, that's the way. So the vaccine is basically a portion of that virus's protein, and you put it in the blood, and those T cells that are already just kind of randomly generated, it'll match that protein of the virus. They'll still be activated. They don't know whether the virus is doing whatever it's doing. They just know they matched. So when you get exposed the next time, they're already around, ready to fight it. So that's kind of how the vaccine works. So that's why you get sick for a week instead of die.
I got you. I got you.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah, the immune system's really, really cool. God kind of knew what he was doing, putting us together. But yeah, there's another thing is there's certain immune cells that don't give a fuck about specificity. They find it's not part of you, they kill it.
True.
So that could be another thing that's going on, is that those are actually called cytotoxic T cells or natural killer cells, because back in the 70s, people were smoking weed even in the lab, so they named shit really cool. Natural killer cells. So,
Right?
they come across a cell that all the cells kind of have like an ID badge. They put their proteins like, hey, this is what I'm making. This is me. I'm part of you. Don't kill me.
Where are your papers?
Some of them go dirt to dirt, and the natural killer cell touches it and it's like, hey, where's your papers? And then it goes, doo-doo-doo. It's like, oh, you're a cancer cell. And then they just eat it.
Well, I mean, that's
So-
good.
And then just eat it.
If
Well,
that
that's what a
cell's like,
cancer
hey,
cell is. It's just a cell that doesn't know how to stop being retarded and stop reproducing and shit.
So, I mean, it happens in everyone's body all the time. It's
Right.
just working properly. And then, so the coronavirus, the cell that's infected with that virus is like, I'm corona. And the natural killer is like, no, the fuck you're not. And it kills it.
It's good.
And also, that's another thing. So when the antibodies, those Y-shaped things, are coating a cell that's infected, the natural killers will immediately pick up on that. Like, why are you covered in boogers? You must be bad, and they kill it. So that is the
gross?
community college immunology lesson.
I feel you. I mean, you don't want to get booger face. Nobody wants booger face right now. I had a lady ask me the other day, she was like, you know how long it's been since I've heard somebody say God bless you when somebody sneezes? I was like,
Everybody's hot diving for
right, at least a year. Abby got sneeze face the other night with all the pollen going around.
Yeah.
And the people on the other side of the pump, they pump like $6.28 worth of gas. All right. Well, Abby sneezing 12 times might have had something to do with why they hung up the pump and left. Because nobody pumps $6.28 worth of gas. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
Especially because that's a gallon now.
Right. I leaned my head out the
Right.
window. I was like, babe, you can't be doing that. They're going to take us to jail. like riding around the gas station just sneezing and shit.
Man,
That's
we're going
so
to need you
funny.
to cover that weapon, please.
Yeah. And I mean, pollen has been horrible here. I mean,
Always.
always. It's so bad.
It's a bowl, and the only thing between Augusta and Atlanta is an hour and a half of pine trees that blow towards Augusta.
That's true.
Very true.
And the fall line starts right here, so it all just dumps off right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you do have the Atlantic winds coming off, hitting Savannah and coming up north. So
Bringing it
like
up to
all
Augusta,
just like
too.
Y's right here at Augusta and goes north up the coast. So yeah.
Yeah, we got pretty bad pollen, but we're getting, I mean, I'm in Jacksonville right now. We're getting poured on. I guess we're getting the rain that probably was in Augusta yesterday.
I want some
Atlanta.
rain. We didn't get no damn rain. Rain for like 10 minutes. Abby's been outside for 2 hours
Right.
watering the plants and shit because the farm's like, we're thirsty. we need water. I'm actually
It
pulling up
did
the weather
clear
right
up
now.
yesterday
Let's see.
at the end of that tournament. So
Let's see. Radar. Ain't no rain around.
No, I heard it did get bad down by the Masters. I heard, but
yeah, well, I mean, they
Up
they,
here?
they did
Yeah.
they whatchamacallit, suspended play for like an hour or 2 hour, an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, they had to
And
finish
all
this
it-
morning. They finished this
all it
morning.
did here was drizzle. It just drizzled. No lightning, no thunder.
Yeah. I mean, it rained for, like I said, barely enough to water my plants.
Dang. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy storms here this morning. Every now and then you get a
Oh, yeah.
lightning strike will shake the house or something.
I can see it moving through, yeah. You're in a pocket now. You should be good for a while. There's a new cell forming over Tallahassee that might grab you.
I know the Florida Panhandle got hit hard.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about they were able to like watch tornadoes come in off the coast.
Dude,
So-
did you see that video? I
Well,
think you're talking about that
yeah.
one video.
Greenbow,
yeah, I think it was
Alabama.
Panama City.
That was nuts. Like that thing literally, like he's in like what, probably the 15th story of a building, and he's just watching this
Mhm.
like water spout just go right next to his balcony. Like what? And he's just
Yeah.
watching it through a wall of glass, and I'm just like, dude, get out of the living room. Like you are nuts.
This might sound really stupid, but is Greenbow, Alabama a real place?
No.
No, I think it's I mean, there's a bunch of places like it, but I don't think it's a real place.
It's not nothing is named Greenbow, Alabama.
I'm just curious. I was just looking at the weather, and I just looked at the little patch on Alabama, and I was like, I'm gonna look for Greenbow.
No.
Hey.
There's probably a few places like it, but
Supposedly, we're the only place with a Grovetown in the entire United States.
That's cool.
that's interesting.
Supposedly, there's no other Grovetown in anywhere. I was like,
That's interesting.
that boggles my mind.
That is really weird because, I mean, groves. Like I mean,
Grovetown, right? Like it
yeah,
makes
like I mean,
perfect fucking
they were
sense.
pretty simplistic in their naming back in the day. So
Yeah, right. I mean, didn't have to think about that. I wonder what they did there. I'd guess what they had some trees.
well, I still want to know the story behind
Martinez.
Sparta, Cairo, Rome, Athens,
I love it.
Troy.
Well, see,
Like-
we were gonna do. I think for my senior trip of high school or whatnot, maybe even college, we were talking about doing a trip around the world, but never leave Georgia. Go to Egypt, go to Cairo, hit Dublin, hit Rome, Denmark, ride through. There's a little town south of Griffin up there called Zebulon. What? We can go out of freaking space. Like, we can go everywhere, dude. Like,
We can
Go to a
still do
different
it,
galaxy.
right? That's what I mean.
Oh,
Like, Zenith, we can hit our Zenith just south of Roberta and north of Fort Valley. And keep on going, you know? I mean, dude, it's...
That's funny.
Vienna. You ever been to Vienna? No? Let's go. It's right there north of Cordele. I've been through Cordele. There ain't shit in Cordele. Okay? Cordele's outside of Fitzgerald. Palmer, you know all about Fitzgerald.
Oh, I lived in Fitzgerald for
There
a little
you
bit.
go. There you go. We're getting close. But you know what's south of Fitzgerald? Motherfucking Nashville. We can go to Nashville, bro.
There is some ridiculous places. I mean, it is.
Hey,
yeah,
Alabama has the town of Bacon.
Right?
I know that right off I-20. Bacon. Welcome to Bacon, Alabama.
In Mississippi, there's a chunky Mississippi.
See? Guys, we're learning stuff already about it, and we need to go explore our own state.
And then our second trip could be Native American names. We can go to Dahlonega.
Yeah.
Just like, what?
Baton Rouge.
Well, we have talked about going back to New Echota up in Calhoun.
Word.
Yeah, that place is cool as hell. Up there in Resaca,
Well, and then
Georgia.
you get the random German town. What's
Helen.
up? Yeah,
Yeah, Helen.
it's Germany. Like,
It really is. I mean, it was settled by German immigrants, and I mean, it's
it looks German. I mean, more
Yeah.
than any other little small American town. I'm sure not more than Germany, but you know.
I'm with
Probably
you.
does now. It's quaint German.
Yeah, as the Germans.
Yeah, I come by a wares.
Yeah, Peyton, if we ever did that trip, we'd have to have like a van just for costumes.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, Abby keeps trying to throw my Halloween costumes away, and I'm like, ha, move them and hide them in different places in the shed. I mean, she's trying to throw away my break barrel plastic shotgun. I'm like, whoa, bro. That was like the, what was it? I went as the Undertaker's, like, college graduate or something. That was
Well, you
funny.
never know when you want to be Elmer Fudd.
Right. I mean, you never know when you might need a bright orange plastic shotgun that you can break in half. And if I replaced the batteries, I'm sure it'd still go.
Remember that little shotgun?
Yep, I got that one, and then I found an M16 that you can cock back and pull the trigger, and it goes until the little hammer thing closes down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember those.
Abby
Fat
keeps telling me we don't need that. I know this is America. I want it.
Be like, what if we have a son? He needs it.
Right. I mean,
Or daughter. you
or
know?
daughter. I mean, exactly. I can give her a walkthrough on how to shoot her plastic M16 at the neighbor's dogs.
Did I tell you the first time I was teaching Trinity? Do you know Trinity?
Yes.
Trinity how to shoot, and I loaded the airsoft gun, and she immediately shot my thumb off. It hurt like shit.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not funny, but it's really fucking funny.
It was like she did not wait 0 seconds. I was like, all right, it's loaded. Here's the gun. Shot me in the thumb. I'm like, give it back.
Apparently,
No
we need
pistol
more
shooting.
training.
At least it was an airsoft gun.
Yeah. At least it was airsoft.
It apparently point blank. They really hurt.
Yeah,
Instead
they
of just
really
sting
hurt.
a little.
Yeah, because I watch a
She
lot
shot-
of Silo, and he does a lot of airsoft shit, and I've seen that. Yeah, they hurt. They gotta hurt. I've never been hit with one. We played paintball, but I've never been hit with an airsoft. But I'd have to imagine it gets your attention if these guys are getting tapped from like 50, 60 meters away, and they actually feel it through like a vest and jackets and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, Ben shot me in the eye when I was a kid, like in the eye with an airsoft gun. And it was my fault. We all had glasses on like you're supposed to. And I'm running up the neighbor's driveway and he's hidden in the garage. We're having like a war, in teams. And I was like 12. And it's actually right before we moved away from Texas. So he had all the moving boxes and Ben, being military man, stacked them all the way up in the garage door and had tiny little slits that he was shooting out of. And so we were just shooting a wall of boxes. And all of a sudden, I'm running up the neighbor's driveway, and I just see this yellow BB. I mean, it's just curving. I can see it now, just curving back up towards me. I'm like, man, that's coming right at me. I don't have my glasses on. Right in the eye, like screaming in pain. Like,
Got him.
he got me.
Yep. Hit. Stick your hand up and walk off the driveway, bro. I don't know. I've been trying to get some people together to play airsoft again. I mean,
I have a gun.
I don't have one, but I'd be down to get one, and I mean, I'd be down to play. I want to get into
Find on
doing
Amazon. Full auto, $16. I got a little micro MP5 that I shot one of my older dogs who was being an asshole. If she started digging, I shot her in the ass.
There you go.
I got a scar. It's a semi-auto, but it's a scar.
Okay. I haven't. I don't know. I've never played, but I'd be interested in.
They don't hurt. I mean, it stings or whatever, but think about popping yourself with a rubber band. That's about it. And so,
or a powerful flick. You don't really bruise.
Yeah.
It
leaves a red bump on you. It definitely leaves. If you hit skin, it leaves a little red bump. And I mean, my God, we'll be all right.
I feel you.
Paintball is like Jackie, not Bruce Lee doing a 5-finger death punch to your throat.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, we used to get lit up playing some paintball.
That shit hurt.
Yeah, paintball will fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. Especially if somebody had that velocity turned up, man. They just really do you dirty.
Mm-hmm. That's
Freeze
the
the
worst part.
paintballs.
Yeah, that was always the horror story you hear, and like obviously it never happened. We always just played in the woods with each other. So
Happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that, dude. That's like a marble. That's a
It'll,
marble.
it'll
Like,
shoot marbles. Trust me, I learned. I put a couple through concrete, little cinder blocks and shit.
Jeez.
It'll do it. I mean, you shouldn't do it. I'm just going to put that out there for everybody. Listen, don't do it. I'm not advocating doing this. You can also shoot a 50 BMG out of a 12 gauge shotgun. I don't fucking recommend doing it, but you can do it. You know?
We spent all the time thinking about if we can. We didn't think about if we should.
Right. There's a lot of stuff you can do. But there's more shit you shouldn't do.
Speaking of that, do you see Elon Musk says that he can create Jurassic Park if he wanted to?
Oh my gosh, don't do that. Like, they're gone.
Did we not learn anything?
Right?
I mean, we have multiple movies saying why this is such a bad idea.
Right. I mean, I got chickens in the backyard. That's the closest thing I need to T-Rexes in my life, okay? And now we have turkeys, just to let you know.
Ooh,
Yes, they're tiny.
What's his name?
We haven't decided yet. I wanted to name them Sleepy Joe and Camel Toe, but I don't think we're gonna get that one. I don't know what we're gonna end up on. But it'll be something festive. I mean, they're animals. So you can get really creative with the names. That's the best
Yeah,
part.
I'm trying to think. There was an episode of The West Wing where they really kind of drove the whole. They talk about it's the, the president pardons a turkey every year and all that stuff, and so they included that into the kind of storyline. And so the press secretary, Allison Janney, has to pick which turkey is going to get pardoned, and like I think their names are like Kevin and Scott or something like that.
I got you. Well, see,
So
if we're lucky enough for one to be a male and the other one to be a female, I had also thrown in the ring for Kip and LaFonda.
That's good. I like that.
I had thrown in that one in the ring, but I don't know if we got any takers on that one.
LaFonda.
Go eat your
I got my.
Go eat your fat ham or whatever. You fat lard. Tina.
Dinner,
Yes.
you fat lord.
Tina, you fat lard. Go eat your ham. Yes.
Hell yeah! Just put me a new lock on my door.
There you go, boss.
All while we
Yeah,
get back from Lowe's to being done in the whole span of a podcast.
Right?
Yep.
See, you can listen to a podcast. You can listen to the podcast and put a new door lock on.
Hey, not only that, a padlock door too.
There you go.
So now
See?
I don't need keys. I just punch in code.
He's better
See,
than
we got
y'all.
it. We have one you can unlock with like your phone and all that stuff, but I want a little pin pad. I'd rather have a pin pad.
Yeah, this one's got the pad where you type in the number. But I hate like when we're bringing in groceries, having to search for your key. You know.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but you still gotta punch buttons.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's
mine
easy.
it is nice.
I don't have
if
to
you
grab
your
anything
phone.
out of my pocket.
Oh, well, you should already have the key prepped in your hand with the key you need to open the door, homie. That's called logistics. You gotta
If mine's
plan
working
that out.
right, if you have your phone with you and you touch the doorknob, it unlocks. But of course, technology doesn't always cooperate, and then you're sitting there like an idiot for a minute trying to touch your doorknob.
I'm gonna say, Palmer, we're not all that sophisticated around here.
Well, and that's the
Right.
thing is, we got this house when we moved down to Florida. We moved into a neighborhood that was, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Lennar Homes, and that's who built all these houses.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is that they build quote unquote smart homes, and everything's included. So we have the freaking doorbell, the Ring doorbell. We got the doorknob
Dang.
that unlocks the thing. They gave us like an Echo that runs the house and all that crap. Do we use any of it? No, not really.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's cool. Like if somebody were to, it is kind of, the doorbell thing's kind of nice because even when you're not home, you literally can see who's at your front door. That is kind of nice.
Yeah. I could see the doorbell being beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, without a doubt. I just
For
don't.
sure.
I just don't like the concept of linking all the crap in my house, like my thermostat, to my dang outlets and all this crap, and it all being hooked into a router. Well, everybody's
I
smarter
don't know,
on a
man. Then
computer
you have
than
the
me,
ability.
bro.
Have you seen that crazy video of? I'll send it to you if you haven't seen it. It's hilarious. It's like a burglar knows he broke into the wrong house when, and it's a guy walking around his house and he says, "Alexa, what is it? Alexa, intruder alert."
Yep.
And Alexa goes, "Oh, Alexa just answered me. That's freaky." He says like intruder alert or something like that, and it says like welcome to the danger zone over the loudspeakers, and all the lights go red, and then welcome to the jungle by CCR starts playing, and everything goes dark with red lights. And it's just like
Jesus.
Oh,
it's hysterical.
I like the one where it's like Alexa, release the Claymore Roomba, and it's just a Roomba and it's got a Claymore on the top of it. So
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of somebody with a computer can get into my system and change my heat and my this and that and shut
Who
stuff
do you
off.
think cares about you enough to just mess with your
To do it.
thermostat?
You'd be surprised, dude. This day and age, I used to say nobody, but nowadays, fucking everybody.
I don't know. Probably would make it a point to stop by Peyton's house and be like, "Oh, let's just crank the heat up to about 80 real quick."
Right, exactly. Like that's what I mean. I don't need any more attention brought upon my farm. Me and Abby were laughing about the size of our farm on our half-acre lot. I think we got 5 chickens, 2 turkeys, 2 dogs, and 2 cats now. Welcome to Farmville.
Yeah, Taylor was like, "I'm not going in their backyard anymore."
Why?
You know, she hates birds.
Oh yeah. Well then, stand on the other side of the fence while I eat all my fresh fruits and vegetables.
I thought they were. You know, y'all are going on what is it to the beach in May?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, well, she was like, feeding the chickens. That's gonna have to be David and them's job next door, because
Well, yeah, they got 4 chickens, so it shouldn't be an issue.
she's like, I don't mind having the babies, but them chickens I'm not taking care of. I was like, I'll go do it, you asshole.
Right? There ain't nothing wrong with them little things. And hopefully by
They are-
then the turkeys will be big enough to. I mean, supposedly they grow like wildfire. Oh Lord.
Got my 4K Apple TV yesterday.
Ooh.
How do you
Does
like
it look
that?
nice?
I do. I really
Turn
do
on the
enjoy it.
Masters. It should look amazing.
Yeah. Oh well, I bought an 82-inch for the living room. Should look really good.
Yeah. Turn your head from side to side to watch it.
Yep. That's what Uncle Joe bought me.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Jog that economy.
I did.
Right?
And I kept my money in Georgia.
Oh no, mine went over to overseas. Samsung.
Samsung. Mine went to Daniel Defense. So.
Oh, there you go.
Samsung sounds American.
It sounds American. Definitely.
No, man, these people do when they call about grills and stuff. They do get on my nerves about that. Oh, that grill's made in China? Yeah, so is the cell phone you just called me off of.
Right?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Oh, no. I'm getting phone calls again from these people who harassed me the entire election about all this crap. And I'm like, dude, are we back to this again? Like, why are we back to this again? Why am I getting text messages from Joan at Georgia Action Committee about all this crap? Are we back to this again, Joan?
Dude, I'm living in Florida, and because I have an Augusta area code, I still get those texts.
He's so retarded.
Dude, poor Taylor, dang. You know how, like, your phone usually scans them?
Yeah.
Well, since, you know, she works from home and she has to use her cell phone, she has to answer numbers from all over.
Yeah, I do
So
too.
now her phone does not scan it for her. And it's like, ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, I could be getting a random phone. Like, I sell to random paper mills and all kinds of, and some of these guys have just moved down. Like, some of my customers, you know, have Pennsylvania phone number. Random is, so I have to answer every phone call, and 90% of the random phone calls I get from random numbers are either some stupid automated warranty thing about my car or just something ridiculous. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, and I'm on the do not call list, which is, you know, which I don't know how much that actually does.
Yeah, probably not much.
Well, I used to get a ton of calls from a ton of different people, and now I just get them from the car warranty thing and a few others. Not as bad, but it's you know,
Have you seen some of those car warranty memes? That shit's funny as hell. There's one where the dude's sitting there and all of a sudden the guy walks up and busts his passenger windshield out and he leans in and he's like, "This is our last attempt to reach you about your vehicle's warranty." And it's like, damn, bro, yes. Yes. That's how it feels sometimes.
That's
like,
funny.
these motherfuckers are, like, coming. Like, your vehicle warranty is... My truck's a 2001 with 250-something thousand miles on it. If there's anything on it that's still under warranty, send me free shit then, because there's no way. I mean, there's no way. Oh my god!
I get them all the time about the Jeep, and I'm like, oh really?
Right? The Jeep, really? Okay. That's what I mean.
Where
like,
was y'all? Where was y'all when my motor blew up?
Yeah, where's that warranty call on the motor? Yeah. Well, we only warranty on spark plugs, and you know. Oh, that's so true.
I mean, what's the end goal of those? Is it literally just to get you on the phone and get personal information? Like, is like, I mean, because it's an automated thing. Like, if you press buttons, do you get directed to a person that then maybe they ask you for your social and stuff like that? And that's the goal. But what the hell, car warranty? Like,
That's my thing. I don't know. Maybe they want your like driver's license number or something. From there, they can like get you. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely something to
Be right
get you.
back.
There's no doubt. I mean, they wouldn't just be making these phone calls to annoy the shit out of people. Maybe they are. Maybe they just want us to be
Everyone.
pissed off.
I like how we just freely give it to Facebook.
Right?
Oh, and then like Facebook told us that it was what was it like? They had a bunch of people's information get out there and whatnot, and then Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg was like, yeah, it's actually y'all's fault. How, dude? Like, I understand we put it there, but you do have to take some responsibility for this.
You know, the FBI wishes they thought of Facebook a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Even the NSA probably shaking their heads.
That would be the most, I was gonna say sophisticated, but almost unsophisticated information gathering is people just punching in their own stuff. Like, I mean, it's crazy.
Right.
Man. I mean, but they still have it all. Like, they work hand in glove with these people most of the time. Well, depends on what it is.
Find it.
Well, happy Sunday, happy Master Sunday, fellas, and I'll talk to you next Sunday.
Yeah, man. We'll be
Later,
here.
man.
I'll holler at y'all later.
All right, take care. That was fun.
Later, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Have a good week.